Hi everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn. I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you're watching Model Behavior. Today I have three distinguished guest lecturers. I have Douglas Says, Robert E. Knight, and Jadi Murphy, who is a photographer. Let me tell you a little bit about my guests before we move on. First, Douglas Says. Douglas is an author of 2 books and a designer from Newark, New Jersey. His books are called The Red Dress and Amuse. He specializes in fitted jersey dresses, and he has been designing since 1979. His fashions have been showcased on shows like Rip the Runway and a few others. Welcome, Douglas Says.
Thank you very much.
Robert E. Knight. Robert was born and raised in Brownsville, Brooklyn. He graduated from Fashion Institute of Technology with a degree in menswear, and he is concentrating on creating women's wear in 1995. In 1998, he elevated to creating full-figured women's wear. Hey! And he's always been a fan of asymmetry. Did I say that right?
Asymmetry.
Asymmetry, color, and prints. He enjoys injecting all 3 into that special one-of-a-kind something. And he's assisted at high-end companies like Dolce & Gabbana, Zac Posen, Calvin Klein, to name a few. He's dressed myself, Dreamgirls actress, singer Moya Angela, and Cynthia Bailey from the Atlanta Housewives. Welcome, Robert, to Model Behavior. Finally, we have Jadi Murphy, who is a photographer. He's contributing editor of fashion and talent for Fashion Avenue News. He has worked with Bill Witherspoon, Tyrell Mason, Richard Q, top model, I can't even say that, Fumi Akusi from BET's Rip the Runway, and cover model for Vera Moore Cosmetics. Now, Jadi has also had a modeling agency. He's no longer doing that, but you did have one, right?
Yes, I did. With Home Model Management.
All right, welcome, guys, to Model Behavior. All right, let's get to it. You know, this is an educational series, so I want you to teach those who are coming up and trying to get where you are today. I'll start with an easy question. How long have you guys been in your respective businesses? We can start with you, Douglas.
Well, actually, I've been designing since, well, working for myself, full-time, since 95.
Okay.
I left my full-time job in 95, which was Virgin Atlantic Airways, and started designing full-time. So I've been doing that.
That's a nice, I'm not counting that, but that's a nice amount of time.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
How about you, Robert? I know I just said that in your bio, but I want you to tell them how long.
It's been about 20 years.
Wow.
I've been doing this about 20 years. Been sewing for 40. I'm 46 now.
You've been sewing since you were 6?
I've been sewing since
I'm
I was
36.
Wow.
Why people be lying in the industry? See, this industry right.
Jadi, how long have you been doing your photography?
Well, as a photographer, I've been doing it for coming up 4 years.
Okay, now how did you get into the business, though?
I've been in the business since what? As long as these guys. I started as doing as far as the agency first. I went to School of Visual Arts, Parsons, as a fashion illustrator.
Oh.
Yes, and drawing and painting. So that's also in my bio as well. I attended these gentlemen's shows.
You came to my show?
Well, I missed Douglas shows, but I seen his clothes when he was doing other fashion runways here in New York.
Okay.
Okay.
So
just to let him know.
How do you go from illustration to what was the drive? What made you want to be a photographer?
I always loved fashion. I started drawing and painting since I was 5 years old as well.
Wow.
And I went to special schools with art and drawing as well. The photography piece came in to when my mother took ill last year, a year ago. I had to find ways to keep her company and stay with her. And to alleviate some of the stress I was going through, I bought me a camera for myself for that Christmas. And it just took off from there. I took a couple of pictures, put them on Facebook. People said, oh, that's nice, that's nice. Are you a photographer? The label came, because I never called myself a photographer.
Oh, okay.
And as the years progressed, I started shooting with other designers, other models, and was really humble and thankful that they took the time and everything. And I'm just learning everything that's going on. Just about the 3rd year of my photography, I started getting requests from magazines, contributing to magazines. And I was like, okay, let me humble myself. I didn't want to get none of those other negative attitudes and so forth because in basics, I'm just simple, you know.
Okay.
I want to keep it simple, you know. I try not to bring too much to the table, just bring myself. So when that happened, the photography just started to climb. So I'm now working with 4 other magazines. There's another online magazine I'm going to be working with that's going to be published soon. In March, gave me all rights to their magazine, so they want me to do the models, do the designers, do the makeup artists, and the whole 9. So I really feel blessed and honored that.
And you did all that in 4 years. That's.
Well, I have those photographers that whose work, oh my gosh, I enjoy looking at them. Steve Williams from LA. Can I say hi to him?
Sure.
Hi, Steve. He's like a mentor to me. You know, he's one of them that really pushed and encouraged me to keep doing this. You're getting better at it. You know, nothing negative about it. You know, and if there was something to be fatigued, he just let me know in a nice way.
So that he's like a mentor for you.
Yes.
Right? Did you have a mentor?
To be honest, no.
Well, now you said you started sewing at 6.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if you want to say mentorship. I really started sewing because I couldn't play sports growing up.
Okay.
That's my story. I was the skinny one, always couldn't play sports, baseball, football, nothing, right? So my mother sewed when we were younger, and I was interested in the mechanics of the machine. It wasn't about making garments, it was about the mechanics of the machine.
Okay.
I started hand sewing at first.
Wow.
When I got a little older, probably like 7 or 8, I moved up to the sewing machine, but that was because I would take the machine apart, and my father would literally get the twig off the tree.
Oh, you got the switch.
After the switch, then he would show me how to put it back together. He showed me the correct way. So it was about the mechanisms for, and then I would do the fabric and start sewing. So I guess my mother and my father were my mentors in reference to the mechanics and the sewing part. My mother sewed her garments forever.
Okay.
And I would see her dress up and with the hair and makeup and her garments, whatever, and fell in love with that. But didn't know that I was going to be in fashion. I'm just creative.
Okay.
I'm just creative.
Now you said that you took apart the sewing machine, so you were fascinated with.
Yes, I was fascinated with the mechanics, how this gear moved this to this to this, and how it all ended up. The needle went in and out. It just fascinated me. The machine I had, I remember, 2 screws, you took the top off, it was a home machine, and you saw everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and I would take the bobbin case out and do all of that, but I would do it incorrectly. I was just doing it just by energy, and my father literally showed me how to put it back together, and then showed, you put the fabric in and you would do, and it was like second nature with that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I moved up, I used to do embroidery, and then I started doing clothes by hand, and then moved to the sewing machine.
Well, okay. How about you, Douglas? Well, did you have a mentor? How did you get started?
I did. Growing up, I had a cousin, older cousin, who could illustrate like crazy. My cousin was actually a drag queen. So from my cousin, I got makeup and hair and styling and just watching her. Not that I knew what I was watching, you know. I didn't know any different, you know, boy, girl, anything. I just knew fashion, beauty, you know, that whole thing. And so my cousin drew, I wanted to draw. My cousin sewed, I wanted to sew. So everything came from me watching my cousin. And I guess it was just embedded in me. And eventually I, you know, started doing it on my own. I took a men's tailoring course in high school. Started doing little fashion shows around the neighborhood and in Jersey. And there were other designers ahead of me who were established, like in Jersey, like Ronald Petty and Bob Henry, who were my mentors, who brought me into the industry and, you know, talked to me about going to school. And then I went to FIT and Trapegan. And
oh, so you did go to school. So all of you guys went to school to hone your talents. So you agree that it's important to have school, but is it necessary? Is it absolutely necessary in order to be a success?
Hurry up,
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that yes, school is important because you need to know the ropes. I don't know what school is like today, but back when I went to school, I think that they wouldn't really teach you to hone your skills. they more or less put you in brackets. They taught you a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So you learned a little bit about pattern making, a little bit about sample hand, a little bit. So you only knew a little bit of anything so that you can get a job.
Okay.
They weren't training you to be Alexander McQueen.
Right.
You know,
Now, are they doing that now?
I believe they are now, but the London school, that, you know, after Alexander McQueen and Hussein Shaline and, you know, several other designers, once those boys came out the gate, you know, they changed the whole game. Yeah. So now they're, because they would basically strip away what you had just to give you the essentials, the necessities, you know, but now they're teaching and nurturing what you have, because then you're getting something new and different and special. But before, it was just watered down. No, all you need to do is know how to be a pattern maker. All you need to do is know how to be a first, you know, designer or whatever. So that's my thought.
Okay. Robert?
I feel school is necessary, but overall, I think that it's about your personal talent, your personal skills, where you feel you need to be. I think hands-on is better. Coming from the technical part, hands-on is definitely better. Like, a teacher cannot tell you how to sew. You need to know, learn how to sew and how to become comfortable with the sewing machine before you even start designing. You should know construction. The teachers, when I went to FIT, they would show you all the steps, but they weren't trying to make you to be this greatness. They were just giving, you should really feel that they were giving you input, but it was their input, and it all of a sudden became theirs. And if you weren't smart enough, you allowed it to be theirs, and you were lost. I think now it's more of the teachers allowing the students to be them and to cultivate what they already know. So the foundation has already been laid. Now the teacher's point of view is to help them get further.
And sometimes the student teaches the teacher,
as well, yes.
Because what's inside of him, you haven't really come across yet. So now you got to figure out how to tell him how to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Did you want to interject?
No,
Shadi?
it's okay.
No,
it's good, because I agree very much with what the gentleman's here.
And do you think that goes hand in hand with maybe photography or what you do?
Well, I learned my photography
essential?
on my own. I basically studied other photographers' work, looking at what they was doing, and trying my best to imitate that. And I didn't know anything about Photoshop and Lightroom and all these other aesthetics they was using. So I was trying to shoot right on to their point and realize, okay, fine. It was amazing to me that some of the photographers, seasoned photographers, was doing it for 20 years, said, wow, how long you been doing this? And I would say, 2 years. He said, you shooting only 2 years and your work looks like this? Yes. He says, well, do you know about Photoshop? No. He says, well, maybe you should look into it and all these other things. And I did. So basically, yeah, I learned the photography and everything in Photoshop on my own. But that doesn't negate the fact that I also want to go to school to really get some more technical training that's actually needed. Some things that I have not learned. So yeah, school will be important.
So it's important. I mean, you can do it without school, but it's good to have that foundation.
Plus you have like a community of people who are doing the same thing, so you can feed off of that energy.
Like networking.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also I think with schooling, and I can speak for FIT, it's industry, or what we know as fashion industry. So usually, like, the teachers, they've been in the industry somehow, some way. And you being fresh and new to the scene, it's kind of like good to get the tutelage from these teachers, especially in the industry, just to set you off for when you decide to do whatever you want to do. So schooling is good to do.
Okay. Well, let me flip it. You know, we're talking about the technical aspects. You know what I do, so you know where I'm getting ready to go with this. Let's talk about the relationship between designers and models.
I'll let them have that.
Oh. Now, dare I say,
designers and models, and the relationships are different.
You can't do what you do without a model.
No.
The two go hand in hand.
Sure.
Let's talk about
I can.
well, yes, you can.
I can shoot a bird. No.
That bird won't talk back.
But let's talk about some of the aspects of that relationship. Now, I've worked with you guys, so I know some of the things that you go through. But let's talk about, what's your dream relationship with a model? What's the perfect model for you? You want me to come back to you?
Yeah, let me think
Robert?
about that one.
Douglas.
I'm gonna have to say that somebody who I can feed off of their experience. You know, like, dare I use names, but like Lou and Tracy, their experiences that they bring to the table make me better. You know what I mean? For, like, I'm fitting something on Lou and she's telling me, you know, this, you shouldn't put this here because, or whatever. You know, this is somebody who's set in the same position as a model being fitted by Bill Blass, Saint Laurent, everybody, everybody. So I mean, I'm honored, and I learn at their footsteps. So yeah, a model, it helps. Now,
so you like input,
right? What only if you know what you're talking.
If you know what you're talking about.
When I put something on Coco and she says, "Oh, this is too tight here," or you need to do it, or when I put something on Rosemary, but these girls, they've been doing this. They're the showroom models. They're, you know, they've done fittings for Armani and such and such and such and such. So yeah, that kind of input helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robert.
Overall, the type of model that I like is the quiet one.
But don't you want to know if something
I know.
fits?
When right, that's
know.
fine. When I say quiet, I've had models who want to give their input as if they created, like I created this for them. You're not purchasing this. I just need you to wear this down the runway. That's all. I don't need to know anything unless I ask you, how does this fit? Especially if you've not worked with me.
Yeah.
And I like to work with models that I've worked with prior. I don't have to deal with that extra. I don't like the back and forth. I'm kind of like, you should know I'm the designer. It's not that I'm big-headed. It's just that this is the vision that I have, and I need you to assist me in that vision. And the best way you can assist me is being quiet and just be a hanger. So overall, for me, that's what I like. I don't mind input, but
you
overall,
know,
I like.
I've heard that term before about being a hanger, but do you really want them to be a hanger,
No, when
or
I say
do
hanger,
you want them to go out and sell your garment?
Right now, I say hanger as in your purpose. Your main purpose here is to wear this garment and to sell it. Now, I'll give you the tutorial on how I need you to be, because in a sense, this is a production and you're acting. You're going to give me, if I say I need you crying on the runway. This is the vision that I have. And then you can embellish how you need to, but overall, I've given you the standard of what I want, what I desire from my own vision. So that's back to, I need you to be quiet, but really just to understand where I'm coming from, and then we can vibe. Once we crack jokes, we're having fun, it's still business. I need you to be easy, but at the end of the day, I need you to follow my direction.
Okay. And what about you? What's the perfect model that you like to work with?
One who, you know, brings the drama and the creativity as well, who comes totally prepared. And I mean totally prepared. I'm talking about skin, hair, personality, who could follow direction. We connect on the vibe to the point where, okay, here's our concept. You know, who knows that it's not about them being cute or fan, but one ready to explore. And as I said to the last model, ready to be free. To free themselves, to get out that box, that comfort zone.
So you don't mind if they experiment in front of the camera?
I take it, you know. I'm still at a learning process as myself as they are, and I give as much feedback as I allow them to give me. It helps us to really generate a great image. If I do not allow the feedback, because some models have their things that they're not comfortable with. So I have to be able to actually coach them in doing this or living that, or the facial marks, like they don't want to, you know, faces like that, because they're like, oh, I look stupid, blah, blah, blah. No, that's what's going to help with the image. It's going to capture what we need to capture. So when they come in prepared and ready and free, just being free, we get so much work done.
What happens when you have a model and you're shooting and they run out of poses? Because this does happen.
Well, you see, that's just it. I don't believe in posing. Modeling is not about posing in front of the camera. Modeling is about moving, continuing flowing. That's modeling. You're going into one and to another. You know what's going. You just and that's letting your whole mind go. That's why I'm talking about being free. Because when you start sitting doing this and doing this, then you're posing. And that's something you see in the magazine. You're never going to capture that pose that you see the other model in that magazine, because one, that was uniquely for them, for whatever movement they made.
It was a free flow movement.
It was a free flow movement. Yeah. And once you lose that movement, you can't capture it again. Yeah. So you have to, you know, just allow the quick flash of it go and let the model
You just got to go with it.
Just go with it.
It's
Just
not one
make
of
it
my
flow.
favorite things to do. I'm not going to lie. I'm the one that runs out of poses.
Oh, you see, but then you need to come to my class and we could teach you how to continue to flow.
Okay.
You know, because the flow is what gets it. You know, the movement, it brings one, if it's the designer's clothes, it brings action to the garment. It allows what you can do in this garment. You know, we want to be free in our clothes. We want to be able to express ourselves and look lovely at the same time. We don't want to be retained, you know. But if the model is posing and everything, you could see the flow of the dress. Like Douglas has something on his page, a beautiful purple gown. The wind is just blowing.
Oh, I love
everything.
that dress.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Need to make
that's
that for me.
photography. And that's a model. And that's the capture of an image that's really striking, because it just caught my eyes like, wow.
But you know, I'm from the school of less is more, and no posing. You know, trying to keep it more natural than you know, than all those hard angles that the girls give. And the image that you speak of, the purple gown, she actually was falling. She tripped,
And that was a
he
movement.
caught her. You know, so
Really?
They caught it.
it was just
And you
very
see it?
natural.
And that's what I'm talking about. She was falling, and it was a movement, and it was captured. You don't see like she's falling, but let's watch another model try to say, I want to do a pose like that.
Right, but you
Honey,
can't
fall
capture
first.
it.
You can't fall. You know, you got to go break your face somewhere. You know, you're not going to get that pose. Are you serious? But anyway, but yeah, that's for me. No, I like, and for the model to know their angles as well.
Okay, let me ask you another question.
Yes.
What constitutes a do not book again?
Be obnoxious, be totally sarcastic, not ready to follow directions, and if you ever late, like a half hour late, I will never book you again. Never.
Can I answer that
Oh yeah.
one?
Oh y'all, I'm gonna ask you all to do it.
No deodorant.
No deodorant.
And
Oh yeah, we've been there
and
too.
it was one more, but
Yes, there's more.
I just had a senior moment.
No deodorant. I
But
could go
that's
back on
yeah.
that.
Go ahead, take
No
that, Robert.
deodorant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
know,
you have some
I mean,
people coming up.
I've had dresses that were actually ruined after a show or sitting
Hygiene's
or whatever.
important.
And you know, a lot of times, especially with the show, when I get home, I don't take everything out the bag because I'm
That's
tired.
right,
You know,
right.
I might
Into
get
the
to it
show.
tomorrow or maybe the day after. But by the time I open that bag and you're like, whoa. It's hateful,
Yeah.
or you hang everything up, and then you walk past, and you be like,
Like,
"What
what is
the?"
that?
Yeah.
You go smelling everything, and it's like
Wow.
hateful, hateful.
yeah.
And dresses are really ruined that way because these are first samples. You know, there's only one of them,
Only
and by the
sample.
time you wash and rinse, every time you use it, you can't even sell it.
See, I would think that that's common sense.
Oh,
I mean, because I mean, you know, at
Right.
the school that I grew up in,
Just as being a woman.
you put that in your model bag.
right,
You
right,
know
right,
that.
right.
You
One,
know
because I
that.
don't want to have to pay
Right.
for the garment that I've
Right,
ruined.
right,
So it surprises me that something as simple as deodorant, why you don't have that in your bag?
Oh
You know?
my God! Now, you
no,
know,
you can have it in your bag. Just put it
Put it
on. You know,
Now,
I
you
know
know-
how to use it. I had a model who I actually had to go to the store and purchase deodorant, and they asked me, "What is this for?" Now, if you have to ask, "What's this for?"
have a problem here.
Then there is a problem here, you know. But yeah, it could be just that simple, you know, even from fingernails, toenails, whatever. You know, how important it is to be on point with your own hygiene.
this is your job. That's
This
your
is your
job. All
job.
you have to do is come with a clean
you come
vessel.
into a photo shoot, you got
know?
hair particles coming out your nose, blisters coming up here,
Dirt under your
you know,
nails.
dirt's underneath your nails,
Okay,
and
yeah.
and I check for those things. They're like, "What you doing?" I'm coming up on your
Right,
face, I'm
right,
looking up
right.
into your nose because the camera is going to pick up everything.
Right.
All
You
right,
know.
give me something to give me a piece of advice to leave our viewers with.
Such as.
Anything that
Anything.
you think will be helpful for them.
For
moving-
them.
Yeah.
Okay, as far as coming to a photo session, be prepared and be on time. Be prepared and be on time. Have your model bag ready. And sometimes they don't believe that they need to bring their book with them. Bring your book if you have a book. You know, this way it also gives the photographer who's shooting you for the first time an idea of what your angles may be, what you may look like, what lighting is best for your for exposing you and your skin tone and everything else. So yeah.
Robert?
Keep in mind, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about mine. In truth, that's my slogan. Keep in mind, I'm sensitive about mine. I need you to be sensitive about mine as well. For a fashion show, you were booked for this fashion show. I like you apparently. I don't need to see my looks after you've taken them off over in the corner. I don't like to see my jewelry and stuff someplace. I don't want to get home and see I'm missing pieces. I don't want to do that because I have written down who wore what, and I hold you responsible for that piece. These are things that I've learned from doing this forever. Like at the end of the day, I'm my own backer. This is every penny every item that you see, I produce out of my pocket. No one backed me, gave me anything. So I take pride in my stuff. Like I need you to take pride in my looks as well.
Okay. Cool. Douglas?
Yeah, because we lose a lot of stuff doing fashion
I know.
shows. You know?
I'm a model and I lose a lot of stuff too. Yeah, I know.
But, yeah, they will walk away with your stuff.
Easy. And isn't it funny how folks will walk away with your stuff and you would think you would see it again in life?
No, you never see it again. You never see it again.
It has gone into the abyss of stolen items.
And then like the person who booked you for the show, they're not responsible.
Right, no, I don't know.
So
I don't know.
You know, it's a loss. Right. So you might as well get charged.
Right.
You know, you might as well pay me what I'm worth.
Exactly.
I figure if I'm going to do your show, I might as well charge you how much my dress costs.
Exactly.
All right, we're out of time, but I want to thank you guys for joining us on Model Behavior. Thank you for teaching.
Yes.
I hope you guys will come back.
Yes.
Anytime.
When we're working on a live show.
Can I have two new guys? Can I have two new guys?
All right, I'm Sharon Quinn, the original Runway Diva. You've been watching Model Behavior. I want you to take two things with you when you go. Remember to always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. And remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game.
Oh, no.
So until next time, class is dismissed. See you next time. Bye.